My name's Ash.
What up, Ash?
Hi, Ash.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just Ash. Can we get real ignorantly loud?
Yeah.
Maybe. Dumb, like, what's going on down there loud? And show some stupid, crazy love for Janai right quick. Just in case you didn't know, like, people really love you. A little bit, a lot of it. So yeah, I'm grateful to be here. I actually banged out and like asked Janai to do this. I'm not so cool that Janai was like, I want my party to be dope. And I'm gonna get a dope person to host it. I'm gonna call Ash. I was like, Janai, let me host that. I have a life, I promise you I do, but I was like, Janai, let me host that joint. So we plan on having a great time tonight. Yeah. I hope everyone has thrown the mess, the stress, the BS of the, oh, I should be a rapper. Is that approved?
That's approved.
That's approved? Okay, I just throw it all away, have a drink or two. Be careful, okay. And let's just hang out, enjoy. It's a reunion for a lot of us. It's first time for probably a lot more. Just enjoy yourselves. I'm gonna cut the whole food tonight. My baby is at home. My husband is at work. There's nobody here to keep me accountable. And please don't record me, because I mean that. Don't post anything. You taking pictures. That's not what I need y'all to do.
Hi guys, thank you all so much for being here.
We love you, Janai.
Every person here represents somebody that I love on so many different levels. And people that I don't know, you're friends with people that I love. So any friend of that person is a friend of mine. I'm so glad that you're here.
Alright, so the time is, it's time now. So at first, we're gonna have a feature artist come up, Miss Shirley. Show you love. Cheryl. Oh yeah, that's not one name. It's Cheryl Spacebar Lee. Show you love.
Good evening. Yes, my name is Cheryl Lee. First name Cheryl, middle name Lee, but my family calls me Cheryl Lee. So I thought that would work as a statement. It really doesn't catch on. It's cool. Happy birthday, Janai. Thank you so much for letting me share this experience and occasion with you. I am going to do two pieces. The first one I'll just go ahead and do. It's actually appropriate. Unfortunately, it's appropriate a lot as we continue to see Black people, particularly Black men, being hurt and killed by those in law enforcement and others who continue to find fear within their hearts when they encounter them. So this piece is called It's Personal. This is personal. Has been since the moment of your arrival as an ocean of grace flooded our hearts with joy. I fell in love with a sweet face overflowing with cheeks. Stared into big, brown, curious eyes and wondered who you would become. Life of the party or a quiet storm. Adventurous explorer or studious bookworm. Would you like hoops or baseball? Music or art? Choose Howard or Hampton. sometimes they're incorrect. Howard or Hampton, to be an alpha or sigma man. What is your version of the American dream? We do our part, feed you a steady diet of love, acceptance, and discipline. Balance your need for truth with our desire to protect your innocence. The only world you've known is one with Obama as president. Every child your age is a potential friend, and you speak of good guys and bad guys, as if there is a clear line of distinction. You are fascinated with superheroes and what you consider the human equivalent, policemen. They greet you with smiles and high fives, which you eagerly return, and I wish we could freeze this frame. We cannot keep you cute and cuddly forever. Inevitably, you will grow, and the rules of engagement will change. So we stack up dreams for you like a game of Jenga. Steady hands building unsturdy towers of hope, praying that it doesn't all come tumbling to the ground. We've seen this too many times now, in the pages of our history books, on the screens of our cell phones and TVs, black dreams outlined in chalk. Those sights haunt our thoughts and guide our prayers, which are just as much for your good character as for all the characters who play part in your scripts. And we know that there are many dangers facing you, but we worry most about those sanctioned by the state and applauded by the people in the most blatant displays of hate. So we pray your protection from concerned citizens who consider the inconvenience of your presence as reason to stand their ground. And we pray that those superheroes don't misuse their powers for evil. That your skin does not make you automatic suspect. That the slightest movement does not render you a threat. Because to us, you are a walking miracle, manifestation of the hope of a prayer circle that extends backward and forward through time until time is no more. And we know that we war not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and spiritual wickedness, yet the casualties are personal. Each one represents a nickname and memories, inside jokes and talents, celebrated first and last without ceremony. Our circle has prayed, bled, and sacrificed for centuries with the good faith that one day its countrymen would not be repulsed by the assertion that Black lives matter, that this nation with blood-stained hands would hold a mirror to its sin, that Black citizens would have the right to experience the most basic human emotions without them becoming justification for our deaths. That this justice system would not seek to bribe us with millions when all we ever wanted was a conviction. That this society would acknowledge our ability to both mourn officers who are slain and still refuse to concede to a system that steals Black lives and dreams while shaming us for our pain. Don't tell us this issue is too controversial. Don't expect us to continue business as usual. Because for us, this is personal. That's just my heart on the situation. And you know, I have two nephews, and it really hits close to home when you think about them as children and who they're going to grow up to be, and that people may not see them as you see them. And how that can affect their lives. So didn't want to start off on a somber note, but sometimes I shy away from that topic, but people are still dying stuff on the heart, and so we have to remember them and constantly keep that in people's face and on their minds. The second piece I'm going to do is actually a short piece. It is the title piece of my upcoming book. Let's pray that we'll get it done. But I thought it would be good for a birthday piece because particularly as women, we're always kind of learning to find and appreciate ourselves, and whether it's like European beauty standards that women are forced to deal with, or people of different races, nationalities not being valued the same as others. It's just like, you know, I really think about the way we look at people and how we place value in people. So that led me to write this piece, Black Pearls. How many times has the world been turned upside down in the name of the diamond? How often have men dug up rich earth and mined fruitful ground in search of her shine? How many souls have been sold for a chance encounter with the diamond's glitter? Seduced by her sparkle, how many heads have bowed at earth's altar begging for a gleaming miracle? How much blood dots the leaves and courses through streams of regions and countries that sought diamond as source of power and salvation? How much propaganda has been spun to present her as the standard of beauty? How many adjustments made to manipulate her rarity? How many outright lies told to authenticate her purity? At whose expense did the industry calculate her expense? What of the other jewels? Overlooked, unappreciated, disregarded, made to feel less than. What of the precious stones regarded as rhinestones simply because they are not diamonds? Far from counterfeit, these originals are equally beautiful, no less valuable, yet not chosen, lacking the publicity and promotion needed to elicit global affection. So what of the other gems? What becomes of the little-known black pearl? Does she beg the world to take notice of her elegance? Does she hope it will look past the diamond's flash to see her substance? In the past, she would often emerge from the diamond's shadow, twisting and twirling in the sunlight, and then wonder why people were not enchanted by her iridescent glow. But she realized, just as rainbows go unappreciated by the colorblind, the full spectrum of her beauty some people are simply not inclined to see. Yet she does not need their gaze to stand in the truth of her glory. She is exquisite, precious, treasured collaboration between God and nature, a portrait of exceptional strength. Men may manufacture markets in which diamond is the prized jewel, yet she must always remember that God appraised her invaluable the moment he made her black pearl.
Next up, we're gonna have, oh man, I am not ready for this. If I had a hair, it would blow it off. I'm gonna give you this introduction because I can and because I'm hosting, so what are you gonna do? You're just dope, man. Like, your Facebook posts and interaction bless me throughout my day. Because when I be ready to go, I'll be like, and love regardless. She allows a little of my petty to come through before she texts us. And I'm grateful for it. So can we show some love for Janai, please? I'm post/hype man. Who got the fire?
So, since it's Janai's birthday, she was the only one able to make a request. And so, her request is a poem that I just released like a week ago. Called Kept. And it was the first anything I released in like a year. 2017 doesn't owe me anything but an apology. I'm just leave that right there. So, Kept came from 2007. So now this is part of the poem, that's the introduction. I have seen more cut marks on artists' arms than I care to number. More fingernails missing, fingertips near bald, wit and teeth so sharp they could gum up wood and spit out lumber that would build houses that still wouldn't have the right safe space. We still see corners, small dark rooms, so we would have less trouble grabbing at our troubles, inking with them our pens and making them fit to consume. Now I promised myself I'd stop writing about writing, but I never vowed to stop writing about fighting. No gloves, I'm Mike Tyson, biting ears off the silence so the darkness isn't the only one who hears my violence. You want torment? Then stop writing. Stop creating, get distracted, mental fracture, ears and hearts and minds and eyes, all are canvas, but out of balance, because anxiety sent shaking creatives packing. Because depression isolated us when we were lacking, because the voices told us there's no sparkle to this magic. There's no audience for this madness. No matter how burdened beneath we are, life does what it does best. It happens. And when it happens, baby, let the tears fall. Who's to say they won't make way for fewer to wet another face? Be angry and question everything. And when you get your answer, no matter how it may come, make it plain for listening ear and wondering eye and mending heart and open mind. Keep throwing rope into void and pulling others back from ledges and edges that are far too familiar. The world is littered with too much injustice to be quiet about what matters. Stop with the comparisons. You are a different animal with different family and different circumstances. All you know is what you see, and that ain't even substantial. Kick over every pedestal you have established. Make sure it falls over and that the foundation cracks up, and let that person be human and fully flawed, just like you, so you can stop setting yourself up for disappointment. Those will come anyway. You are a mirror, spitting image of God. There is deity in your speaking and reason in your being architect and putting art to text to ensure that the world still fathoms emotional inexplicables, expanding elephantine extents, mental magnitudes as massive as matter, focusing life's greatest lessons through alternative lenses and different points of view. And no matter what you do, don't stop writing. Zaya, don't stop writing. Janai, you can keep crying. Canada, just don't stop writing. Crystal, don't look at your eyes. Marcus, when they are red. Stephen, look at the fall and rise of your chest. Chris, that's purpose. Taylor, you're worth it. Brittany, keep breathing. Artists, keep breathing.
Come on.
So, this last poem is really quick. So this particular poem, this last poem is called Skin You Grace. It's a poem I wrote after 25 years looking in the mirror and kind of realizing that, you know, I'm kind of cute. So this is Skin You Grace. Okay. I love the color of my skin. Now, I know I've already started, but let me begin by saying that this has nothing to do with power, Panthers, presidents, or anything else that's black. In fact, it has more to do with the slack I'm having to pick up from the lack of holding my chin up. Been up and down, back and forth, with the figure in the mirror attempting to configure her worth. Played first fiddle but second string to my own lack of self-esteem. Confidence was just a dream, and no wonder. In retrospect, I recollect being made subject to an elementary remnant of a paper bag test. Yes, that's right, 3rd grade schoolyard by the monkey bars. 2 arms, hold yours up to mine, let's see who's dark. You are, girl. But what did it prove? Nothing. Just a deeper chasm in my already shattered self-image. Self-grimaced at the thought of being any further set apart from my immature counterparts, taking their taunts as gospel, building as many walls as possible, just to deliberate on how to disable the ability of their darts to penetrate. But now, honey, I'm embracing this melanin like I just bought it with my very last $1 billion in 7 cents. Heaven sent. Check the relevance. God, most reverend, reached down from heaven and grabbed a handful of earth, and with that dirt formed the rest of us. And if he makes no preference, best believe that's all the evidence I need, and I've been reaching toward confidence ever since. These mocha mahogany milk chocolate rivers of God's own ink flow over this fearfully and wonderfully made body. And I think it's funny that scientists think that they're on the brink of being able to bottle it. So now, my motto is, embrace the skin you grace. It was traced and placed in your frame with an amount of care so great that the hue is yours exclusively. We never needed the month of January to end to indicate just how beautifully our black graces the palette of Earth's faces so dutifully. So if while running the race you discover a decline in pace and find some space to sit back and recline and taste while everyone and no one's looking, find your face and embrace the skin you grace. Thank you.
Okay, so birthday privileges. So she may or may not have both a book and an album that can be downloaded. So the book is sold out. So that thing is on like back order right now. So if you want to put a pre-order in, then you know she can take those. And she can tell you where to download her live album. You can do that, right? You can do that.
Okay. We doing all right? Yeah. We doing all right. What up, bro? Our bro in the house. Our brother Cliff. Came all the way from Georgia. I would like to say he came all the way from Georgia to hang with me. So.
I did.
Okay, I'll take it. I appreciate it. So y'all doing good though? Woo! Food good? You ain't got it yet. Drinks good? Yeah. Alright. So, I don't know if you guys know, but tonight, here in this building, we're having an open mic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say this. I mean, I know we grown and all, but y'all should probably go ahead and sign up before they start making people come up here. So yeah, who we're gonna have up now is Miss Janai Carter. Continue to show more love as she can.
Hi. I'm also Janai. And Janai's request from me was to play the guitar. Now, disclaimer, I'm really not that good at guitar. I'm also in medical school, so it's kind of like rough practice, but it's been fun. And this is a song that I already knew, so I was working on it. Maybe. I think I might be okay. We'll see how this goes. I love you, babe. Would I be standing here after all these years among the stars above? maybe not. If it wasn't for your love, smiling faces all around, like when a king has just been crowned. A battle has been won, but I lost. If it wasn't for your love, a fairy tale unfolds, more true than stories I've been told. At last, my chance to shine, and all in perfect time. The life I once dreamed of, who'd have thought, if it wasn't for your love, and oh, the wonderful surprise to have a light so bright it blinds my eyes, and finally I see how it feels to live a dream. How would I have touched the sky, ever flown so high? Oh, if it wasn't for your love. Oh, for your love.
For that one. You doing okay still?
Oh, yeah.
All right, real quick, can we just give it up for Janai's parents in the back, please? Real quick, can we give it up for Janai's parents in the back? Hey, yo, when you got close to those, we're gonna pull you in court. All right, we're gonna do tonight. We're gonna have. So I got it. Okay. My, come on, Steve. I got it. This guy right here believes in fire bars. Fire bars, runs, and more. And fashion, look at you.
Come on, yo.
So yeah.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing tonight? You guys mind if I sit down? No? Yes? A little bit of a drink smack, you know what I mean? I like to be eye level, Stand up? Okay. I gotta stand up. I first want to start off by saying thank you, Janai, for having me. You know, it's an honor to be here. And you know, Janai is such a joyous person, and she's such a genuine person. And every time I see her, she has like a legit concern for like how you're doing and like where you are in life. So let's just give it up for Janai real quick. We love you, Janai. And yeah, my name is Stephen Darby. Stephen Darby is my name. A lot of people call me by my last name, Darby. First name, Stephen. Either or, it doesn't really matter to me. But I'm going to sing a couple of songs in lieu of the holiday season that we're in, Easter. Amen. Any Jesus lovers in the house? Okay, so I'm going to sing a couple of songs you guys may know, may not know, but if you do know, feel free to sing along. If not, feel free to just, listen and, receive the words. Amen? Nothing compares to this. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus. Death could not hold you. The veil tore before you. You silenced the boast of sin and grave. The heavens are roaring the praise of your glory. And for you are raised to life again. And you have no rival. You have no equal. And now and forever, God, you reign. Yours is the kingdom, and yours is the glory, and yours is the name above all names. And what a powerful name it is. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. And what a powerful name it is. Nothing can stand against. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus. So bless the Lord, oh my soul, and oh my soul. Worship His holy name, and sing like never before. And oh my soul, worship Your holy name. And bless the Lord, oh my soul, and oh my soul, worship His holy name, and sing like never before. And oh my soul, worship Your holy name. And on that day when my strength is failing, the end draws near and my time will come. And still my soul will sing Your praise unending. 10,000 years and then forevermore. So bless the Lord, oh my soul, and oh my soul. Worship His holy name, and to sing like never before. And oh my soul, worship His holy name, to worship His holy name, just to worship His holy name. Thank you, thank you.
Oh, I thought you were about to play me in. I had a word ready. It is Good Friday. And thank you for that. And then there's that. And then there's Hold on, let's be real. Every Christian know that feeling. Like you fresh out of church, but you was listening to like 92 on the radio. You ain't really feel like going. She was like, Jesus, I just praise and worship when I get there. And then you get to church and it's everything. You get back in the car and nothing you buggers on. You know? Like you don't really know. You just get a jump line. It's a. You say find that funny. I'm like, He said, oh, you got jokes. He said, put your radio on tonight. That's what you do. In all things, honestly, we're grateful though, right? We good?
Yeah.
No, which one y'all really good? Seriously, which one listen to? Just shout it out. Which one is on the way here? Robert Glasper. That's the safe one.
Yeah.
All the Christians listen to that. Who was listening to Cardi on the way in though? That's all I'm talking about. Party all day. So shout out to the ones that were obedient to the spirit of open mic. Signed up. Y'all think it's a game. I was told to warn you guys, Jimmy again. Janai has no problem calling y'all out. And you gotta do it.
Yeah.
Don't call me. I'm already working. Can't do it. Yeah, I even had people tell me I ain't gonna come there. Alright, Cliff. Alright, come on up, Crystal.
Hey.
It's your turn.
Yeah.
Y'all thought I was joking, right? Bars.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
definitely.
Fire.
Yeah, Crystal.
Let's go.
Bars.
Yeah.
It's no coincidence that God designed man in his image, intricately stitched every cell and blood vessel, drafted the blueprint for how every piece of the body would fit, then perfectly engineered it to move, walk, and have its being. And all I can do is watch in awe as I see his design unfold before my very eyes. See, I can imagine this being of perfection intertwining himself with these creatures of transgression, and I began to wonder if he kept us flawed on purpose. Because it seems like everything God created was good, and this man he created looked good on the surface but was alone inside the sides. Doesn't he say in Genesis, let us make man in our image to begin with? So although the creator of the universe was and still is big enough to keep himself company, this man he made has a need, and I find it interesting to see that God saw fit to fill it with himself with another human being. See, this is more than the story of Adam and Eve. This is God setting precedence on relationships. The first one between us and him, and the runner-up none other than the ones we should have with each other. So as he set the foundation of the globe for humanity, he embedded within it for it to work a requirement for family. See, he planned for community in the body way before Adam had a body, heart, or mind to know how important Eve would be. See, it's not good to be alone, and that goes for everybody. We've been woven together. Yeah. By thin strands of circumstance and intersections of his blessings, into beautiful tapestries and sometimes even patches that are still large enough to cover up the gaps where we lack as we each fulfill our destiny. See, he made us all different so we wouldn't overlap but fit perfectly. So what's the point of jealousy? It's a moth eating away at the supposed to be warm sweaters that guided us together. Instead, it's cold. Because worrying about what he's not doing or what she's doing has left holes, depleting the amount of time we have to tend to tasks of our own until someone else has to overcompensate or suffer to complete missions we could have finished by simply staying in our lane, remembering our name came with the destiny that was formed from before we were formed, in a design that relies on staying connected to the vine and close to the branches. Is just like the song says, I need you. I need you to survive. Thank you.
Okay, listen, I don't want to mess your name up. I shouldn't mess your name up. Kendra Scott? Yeah. Okay.
I'm really happy to be here. Celebrating 2 days ago. I haven't actually to always stay. I think of you all the time, the way we finally meet. I can't even put two words together. This is what you do to me. The way you look at me, the way you speak to me, you really know how to make me feel like a queen who needs a red carpet when I've got you. Your blood red for me, how do. Is it you I live and move and have my being? Is it you I can do anything? Is it you I live and move and have my being? Night turns to day and day turns to night. You love me through the trials and joys and fights. But what really gets me is how it's always the same. Strongest ever, failing never, with you forever. You take my breath, you live in me, breathe in me. You, I can feel, move and have my being. You're all I want, you're all I need. You're my everything, my A to Z, the in between. You take my breath, I live in you, I breathe in you, in you I can live, move and have my being. You're all I want, you're all I need. You're my everything, my A to Z, the in between. You. You're all I want, you're all I need, you're all I want, you're my everything, complete me, I need you, I want you, I love you.
Yeah.
I think the time has come. Where Janai gonna start calling people out? We got a volunteer.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, yes, Angie.
All right.
Come on now.
I ain't gonna talk about you. She ain't no good. Coming in. Your glasses gonna shatter. You're never gonna hang out with Janai again because our friends can't sing. No, because of my sight, y'all look like I seen it coming. Y'all ain't gonna see this one. Angela Jones.
Let's go, butter.
All right, thanks.
All right. Happy birthday, Janae. I love you.
There's nothing worth more that could ever come close. Nothing can compare. You're our living hope. Your presence, Lord.
didn't know that word. Y'all didn't know that. But here I am to worship. Here I am to bow down. Here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. I know my time is up, but I never know, I'll never know, I'll never know how much it costs to see my sins upon that cross. I'll never know how much it costs to see my sins upon that cross. I'll never know how much it costs to see my sins upon that cross. Here I am to worship. Here I am to bow down. Here I am to say that you're my God. You're all together. You're all together lovely, all together worthy, all together wonderful to me.
Yeah.
I call it the fruit of summer of 08. Summer of 08, 10 years. It's wow. It's 18. You don't carry one, you kind of take it away. The crew of summer 08, you had two camps mainly. You had ACL, no. You had Friday Night Live, and you had The Encounter. Come on. And you had a bunch of crazy kids who ain't know nothing about nothing, trying to go to school, trying to date, trying to get jobs, and trying to maintain jobs, and trying to do this Jesus thing. And we ain't care about nothing.
You better. Come on now.
We didn't care about nothing other than just pursuing God. 10 years later, some people have moved off. People have gotten married. I met my husband. You met your husband. At FNL. That girl right there, blood couldn't make us no closer. And that's not to brag, to say we did Jesus so right. We did Jesus with what we had, and he filled in the rest. And we can stand here today, and life has hit us with credit scores. You know, the enemy has attacked our families, our bodies, but we are here. Amen. And bro, let me tell you, it's a beautiful thing to be able to look at people that didn't grow up in the same household as you. You're from two different backgrounds, two different levels of education, at this point, two different incomes. And your family. This is dope.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to have people that it doesn't matter what the situation looks like. If it looks like it's a party, but God says, I'm here, acknowledge me. You got people in your life that will do that. I'm grateful for y'all.
Yes.
I don't even know why I put on that. I ain't about to altar call ugly girl. And run around right quick. But I'm grateful, y'all. Oh gosh. Are we good? You good? No, I'm good. Yo. Like, if I ain't never been good, I'm good right now. Like, understand that. The tears ain't. Okay. I'm a G with mine, though. Right? Oh, gosh. just want to do that for like the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Let's go. Go ahead.
Marcus, we gonna have to throw something together, bro. Like, Marcus, we gonna have to throw something. Like, we gonna have to do that. Like, can we just do that one day? Can we just get up? Like, I'll move my whole living room around and just pack that joint out. I said, baby, with grandma's house, it's gonna get loud in there. She'll probably be in that joint too. No, her mama's a worshiper. She'll probably be in that joint. What all 3 teeth she got? So right now, we're gonna have, I've been waiting to see these guys like live for the longest, like outside of Instagram. So I'm dope, because I ain't had to pay to do it. We're gonna welcome very openly and lovely Mr. Marcus Akins and his beautiful wife. I'm excited about this. You got your water with lemon, honey. All right. All right.
Hello, check, check. Hi, everybody. I'm Carolina Akins.
Yeah,
This is Marcus Akins.
that's me.
And we're going to do a couple of original songs for you guys.
Yeah. I want to say something about her real quick. I'm sorry. I have to. I do. I'm sorry. I literally was sitting at the table just now, just thinking, I'm in this crazy phase of life where, like, if I just think about just like my history with like the amazing people that God has put in my life, I just become like overwhelmed, and you know what I'm saying, I try not to cry and all that stuff. But for real, like I've known her it's 12, 13 years. It's crazy, dog. And literally, like, you know, there's just people that you meet over the course of time that like literally every season that's different, they're different, like they're just different in every season. Some, you know, there are some people that just like, you know, the color change and they just move with the color. And Janai is not like that. She's been the same the whole 13 years I've known her, and I think that's just a testament of how dope she is, and how much of just a beautiful soul she is. Just the stuff that we've done over the years, you know, we've helped a lot of people, you know, together, and she just has such a heart to serve, man. And that's why literally when she asked me to come, I was like, yes.
No brainer.
yeah, literally no brainer. So I'm grateful that I know you. I'm grateful that God chose to put you in my life in the capacity that you've been there, and yeah, she's the real deal Holyfield, as all of y'all know, because I'm sitting here. And yeah, I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful, Jay. All right, this first song is called "All the Way." It's off like my first EP, but I like redid it for my album that's coming out in May. So it's been a long journey, long road, but I actually wanted to do this song tonight because of who you are. You know, obviously this song is talking about God. But you can really apply it to so many different things in your life. It's just really saying, if you're gonna do something, you need to go all in. And that's who she is. Like, everything we've done in life, she has been all in. Like, she's never half-butted something. You know what I'm saying? And just ever. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I gotta respect people, but like, you know, she just never has, and I'm grateful for that. You know, that every time you say you're in, and you go all the way. So that's why I wanted to do this song. I'm good.
I cannot try to hide the way I feel inside. Emotions change their mind. I reside. This mountain that I climb, the weather won't subside, pouring on my life. If I go, I'll go all the way, all the way. Still he won't leave my side. Now how long will I try to keep this hope alive? How long will I strive? I see. Sing it again, sing I won't stop, sing it out. I won't stop, sing it out. I won't fade till I see you face to face. I won't stop, I won't fade till I see you face to face. I won't stop, I won't fade till I see you face to face. I won't stop, I won't fade till I see you face to face.
Come on.
Thank you for always going on, man. Love you for that.
Yeah, this next song is one of hers. It's a great song. We just did a video for it recently because it's been getting a lot of good traction. A lot of people have been using it for their wedding videos and stuff like that, which has been great. You know what I mean? So we kind of wanted to re-release it. If you hear the lyrics, she's not like talking about me. It may sound like she's talking about me.
it could be, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I know that was a little before. You know, that was before the ring. So I'm like, you know, but yeah. You know, she's talking about God, but it's just like
It's a love song. You can apply it, you know, to anyone, anything. Yeah, it's a love song. It's called Your Kiss.
Fire.
have next up, because we're running short on time, Taylor. Is it Taylor or Taylor?
Yeah, it depends. Like, my family is from the South, so they say either Taylor or Taylor. So, I know, right? Yeah, because I was when it kept calling, I was like, Janai, I hope she calls my name. Like, I was staring at you intently. You said Taylor. And you did it. I feel like you know what I'm saying. Happy birthday, Janai. I'm learning how to be a woman. Attempting to grow into myself without stretching out my skin or leaving any loose ends untied. I got a whole lot of soul, with just enough space to hold all the galaxies inside of myself that I can't name. My name is Taylor. It is derived from a Latin word which means to cut, and though I know my mother's colonized tongue is partially responsible for this unfortunate mishap, I'd like to imagine that 24 years ago an angel appeared to her in a dream and said, "Woman, unto you a child is born, and her tongue will be made of steel, and her words will cut like blade." Mama, I hope I live up to my name. There are nights when I am wild vine, mornings when I am summer garden, and days when I am plump sky, belly filled and aching with loud thunder and rain. Stormy weather calls me on occasion, but drought has never known me. All this rain means I'm still growing, and I got the stretch marks to prove it. Once, I complained to God about how clumsy my confidence could be, and in the very next instant, these are the exact words that came to me. He said, no, daughter, you're not perfect. You are everything perfection could not be. You are the reason beauty woke from its sleep. It dreamt of you last night, called your name last night. Last night, I looked into the mirror and I realized that I was the reflection of the divine. So to doubt myself will be nothing short of heresy. I am walking scripture. I am free verse. I am the illest freestyle God was spitting in the cipher the unimaginative like to call the beginning. Life is just beginning. But I understand it won't always be this poetic. It will lack rhyme and reason, unfold in very peculiar and unforgiving ways. And on the days I find this most true, when the shame of my mistakes is ready to make a meal of me, I hear God say, if only you would trust me. There is no shame in your mistakes. You're just learning. Remember, your name is Taylor, so when you stand, hold your spine straight as a razor's edge, carve an arch in your back and walk the way your mama taught you. Remember, you are holding galaxies inside of you, so when you stride, balance the orbit of your hips like the world is depending on you, young woman. Rise. The world is depending on you. Okay, I'm gonna do a less serious one. When attempting to flirt. When attempting to flirt, my poetic words get stuck against the upper ridge of my gums before they can successfully take off from my lips and vibe into the ears of that fine brother whose Instagram I have been stalking for the last 3 weeks. My delicate wit, far too eager for its own good, becomes tangled in my mouth. My fire melts and my boldness hides somewhere underneath my tongue. Boy, you sure do know how to make a girl forget how to speak. And what good is literacy if the sight of your name popping up on my phone screen makes me forget how to read? All 26 letters of the alphabet become a far and distant memory. So either I'm having a stroke, or this is just the unfortunate consequence of romantic anxiety. You know, once He texted me, "Good morning," and I could feel the corners of my smile edging up my face as they were trying to carve calligraphy in my cheeks. And if I did not reply quickly, it would surely leave a mark. Now mind you, he only said good morning. No emojis. No punctuation. He didn't even capitalize the G in good. Somehow I felt the way the sky does when it is greeted by the sun in the morning. The daylight wraps its arms around the whole of heaven and says, "Darling, the moon has left you cold, but my kisses will leave you burning." I mean, I could literally spend half the day trying to decode the message of a 2-sentence text message by digging through Google like I am an ancient archaeologist. When my great and noble efforts have failed, I conference all of my very best friends, critically acclaimed scholars for their work and research in the art of getting chose. They all have different opinions, but leave me with the same bit of advice. Taylor, chill. And after assuring them that I am more than icy and the phone call ends, I ask myself, Taylor, why aren't you chill? To harbor butterflies in the pit of your gut is a given with any boy crush, but you befriend vultures far too often. They pick the inner lining of your self-confidence until there is nothing left. How often will you make sacrificial lamb out of your insecurities? How many poems do you have to write until you are healed from the plague of self-scrutiny? Pen and paper, they love you, but they refuse to continue this dirty work for you. It is your duty to travel to the uncharted territories of the first mirror you find. Promise the indigenous woman staring back at you that you have not come to colonize, you come to learn. To worship her God and speak her language. To roll over the curl of her lips and swing from her lashes. To walk across the bridge of her wide nose and climb the highest point of her cheekbones. And after a long day of exploration, rest your feet in the pit of her eyes, sink until you reach the point where her flesh and blood in the ocean of her soul meet, swim until you hit the bottom of her being. And under the weight of all that water, breathe. Happy birthday, Janai.
Alright, so next we're gonna have up is Miss Artisha. This is our last one for the night. So let's show some love. Somebody gotta take Artisha, you got this.
Artisha, you got this.
Okay, so I just want to caveat this by saying I use things like write in my phone, and I wrote this in the year of our Lord 2012. So this is my first time ever reading it. Anything ever. So the poem is called Scribbles. Jumbled up letters on a page that mean absolutely nothing. Puzzle? Me too. I sometimes wonder why life takes the twists and turns that it does. Why we meet certain people or run into speed bumps. Why sometimes we actually see ourselves driving off a cliff and still don't press the brake. Who am I kidding? Why am I sitting here trying to figure life out? How can one place infinite knowledge in a finite space? Scribbles. Scribbles are infinite. So maybe I should just stop spending time decoding everything and start living freely. Scratch that. I am free. Free as the scribbles in my mind, free as the coily, curly cues in my hair. Why be confined to what people expect you to be? Why accept what other people want you to do? Why write on the lines when you can scribble?
So Janai said we got time for one more, so I'm gonna do what I wanna do. I'm gonna come and run the clip up. Let's do it. One of the greatest rappers the world has never heard of, but I'm telling you, y'all better look out because this boy got it and he got it bad. Listen, I should be a host one day. I'm bring the mic down, dog.
That was a short joke.
Oh, brother, I'm gonna get it back. I just want y'all to know, like, I haven't seen you since December. I'm gonna get it back. It's fine.
Yo, what's good, man? Janai. Yo, so, alright, real quick. So while I'm trying to figure out exactly what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just say some really good words about Janai and some of you other guys in here. Listen, the room, like, I haven't been in this setting in a really long time, right? And it's crazy because it has been anywhere between 10 to about 13 years that I've met and known some of you guys. Some of you guys were even youth leaders to me. And just because I'm petty, I'm 30 now, so just so y'all feel some type of way about that. But listen, so I didn't grow up in church per se, and I didn't start really going until I was about 15 or 16. And it was because I was kind of forced. But the crowd of people that God blessed me with always looked this good. And for whatever reason, because of my past, where I felt like I came from, the things I had been through, I never felt like I deserved you guys, or like I was good enough to be a part of such educated or well-dressed or well-spoken individuals. But then there were people like Janai, people like Roland, Marcus, my sister Ash, a bunch of people that no matter what I thought of myself, even if they didn't know, they wouldn't let me think that. Like the love was so pure and genuine that it was just one of those things where after a while, you just had to succumb to it. You had to kind of just give up and just, you know what, somebody loves me. And special, like, and here's the thing, because I tell her this joke all the time because I don't think it'll ever change, but like, we're semi-connected forever. Like, Janai started my dreads, right? And I tricked her, because she didn't know, because I know if she would have known, she would have been real, like, self-conscious about it and worried about it. But at that time, yo, whenever I needed just anything, whether it was somebody to talk to, my hair done, or anything, or, like, whatever, yo, I've kicked it at her beautiful family's house, yo, they've fed me, they've chilled, we've had conversations, the whole nine, yo, and I just want to say to everybody that I haven't seen in a while, I definitely love you guys. Janai, happy birthday, I definitely love you, yo, you're a special individual, as you can see. All these people are here, yo. Everybody that's done anything tonight has been freaking awesome. So I still don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm just gonna go for it. And whatever happens. You know what? Since my sister's here, she doesn't get to hear me do anything quite often, and I haven't done this in I don't know how many years. So I have this piece, right, called "Throw Me in the Fire." I know some of you guys know it. You know, it's okay. You probably know it better than I do. So, if you do, and I look like I'm losing it, catch me, Ashley. Yo, since you want to see me burn, throw me in the fire. And watch me come out yelling, screaming I'm alive. Screaming I'm alive, yelling, screaming I'm alive. And watch me come out yelling, screaming I'm alive. And you can toss me in the furnace and put the heat on hell, then watch me endure soon after prevail. If you was born to kill me, you was born to fail, man, that must suck for you, but I'm like, oh well. Extraordinary is he, but if I was ordinary you, I'd probably throw stones and probably hate me too. Put you through all the drama that you put me through. Do everything in my power to make sure your life was through. But since I'm me and not you, I'll take your best shot. Victory is sweet cold, but it's served best hot. Every story is told with the hero losing in the plot, but in the end, I win, and I win by a lot.
Come on.
Tell the story again, and I win by much more. Stepping out of the flames, brush your ashes to the floor. Then I rise like a phoenix, burning brighter than before. Spread my wings and I fly high, and watch me soar. Since they want to see me burn, I tell them, throw me in the fire. And watch me come out yelling, screaming I'm alive. Screaming I'm alive, yelling, screaming I'm alive. Watch me come out yelling, screaming I'm alive. Since they want to see you burn, tell them, throw me in the fire. And watch me come out yelling, screaming I'm alive. Screaming I'm alive, yelling, screaming I'm alive. And watch me come out yelling, screaming I'm alive. Statistics defeated. Death, I clearly beat it. My shoes you couldn't walk in, my air you couldn't breathe it. The stuff that I say, man, you wouldn't dare speak it. I'm walking on water while y'all still getting seasick. Sick of what you see, can't you see I'm a threat now? Expecting me to fail, I'm sorry if you was let down. You gonna need a nigga, what is it?
You gonna need a bigger flame.
You gonna need a bigger flame if you expecting me to sweat now. Why so serious? Take a deep breath now. You look a little nervous, worried that I'm gonna make it. Worried I'm gonna fight for mine. Worried I'm gonna take it. Worried I haven't backed down when I'm appear to be shaking you. You roar like a lion, but it's clear to me you faking. Mistaken you are if you thinking I'ma leave. Just pack up and go, duck, run, hide, retreat. Watch out, was born a monster, raised into a beast, made to withstand the fire, so turn up the heat. Since you wanna see me burn, huh? Throw me in the fire. And watch me come out yelling, screaming, yelling, screaming, yelling, screaming. And watch me come out yelling, screaming. And since they wanna see you burn, you tell them, throw me in the fire. And watch me come out yelling, screaming, yelling, screaming, yelling, screaming, Hey, watch me come out yelling, screaming. I bet you thought I was weak. Maybe even a coward.
The water is to me when...
Nah. I bet you thought I was weak. Maybe even a coward.
Fire is to me when water is the flower.
No, bittersweet.
Oh, maybe even sour.
Maybe even sour. But I bet you didn't know it. I was mighty, yeah, so weak with so much power. Fire is to me what water is to flowers. I'm glad you don't believe. I thank God for all you doubters. I didn't know it was all you doubters. And where would I be though if it wasn't for all you doubters? I'll change your minds for sure and make believers of you doubters. Have I made myself clear or do I have to live out louder? Stepping stones to the average, but to me y'all stepping towers. So please watch me tower. Put me down, I won't allow you. Any mountain in my way, my faith will move and did devour. By greatness I will empower this world to overcome. And dance in the rain from any storm will never run. Apart we'll carry pounds, but together we'll bury tons. And endure all affliction till God says it's done. Since they want to see you burn, we tell them. And watch me come out yelling, screaming. Yelling, screaming. Yelling, screaming. And watch me come out yelling, screaming. Since they want to see us burn, we tell them throw me in the fire. And watch me come out yelling, screaming, yelling, screaming, yelling, screaming. And watch me come out yelling, screaming. That's technically where the song ends, but I have just something for you, because you know I have to do that sometimes. When you're young with a dream, they say your dreams are the wildest. Then you grow up and they tell you how your dreams are so childish. But you got so much drive you can't keep track of the mileage. Slowly losing control because you've been lacking the balance. Hearing the voices of cowards, they be doubting your choices. Now your heart is a fortress now and your mind is a forest. I know that flower look gorgeous, but I'm pretty sure that it's poison. One kiss from her petals, don't look surprised at your petal. Put the strings from the get-go, but you too strong up to let go. Are you under a spell or do you really feel special? I mean, how special is special if everybody feels special? I'm just saying, you deserve better for yourself. Have you been praying? You ain't been at home lately. Where you been staying? That couch is getting cold, dog. Where you been laying? Always claiming you want a fan but can't contribute to yours. So what if you ain't got a job, homie, contribute to chores? You ain't the only one that had a hard life or do the cards life. Shuffle cut the cards twice and I bid the cards right. Always swinging for the fences, just get on base. No need for the steal, homie, just get home safe. Unfulfilled in this place, it's all over your face. Too scared to stay, too scared to move on faith. Go out of your way just to stay out of the way. Hear the voice of God, but the devil singing louder some days. This is life, you can't take no pause. You gotta keep cooking. Overlook the overlookings, so just keep looking. If the kitchen getting hot, yeah, keep cooking. At the table by yourself, can't get your seat took it. Coming for it all, that's what you promised, go and get it. Nothing like them all, not at all, you know you're different. Make your mama proud, daddy too, you know they with you, boy. Grow up like a mom, hit your target like a missile, boy. Hey, listen, my name is War Child. That's not the name my mama gave me, my mama named me Cliff. But again, yo, listen, be inspired, yo. Don't let nothing that's going on in this world deter you from the purpose that God placed you here for. You don't have to be like anybody else. You don't have to sound, talk, walk, wear your hair, wear your just do you, man. God created us as individuals to do here something that only us as individuals can do. I love y'all. Janai, Happy birthday, y'all. This is dope. Man. Thank you for your assistance, Ashley. I'm not gonna kill you on the mic, but I'm talking trash the whole way home.
Put your nigga up here and make everybody cry with her kind words. I think it pretty much goes as be inspired, don't let nobody kill your dreams, keep writing, keep creating. Worship when you want to worship and how you want to do it.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much the themes of the night. Yeah. And I think we should all like just take those and pocket them and like think about it. Till it comes out of our pocket and hits the heart and just go psh, right through it. I think this is good. That's about as far as it goes. Mama, give me some egg! That's about as far as it goes. Yeah, Janai, you're dope. Hold on, but can we shout out Mr. Rayfield is back? Janai, calm down. So yeah, you can come on up and
let's go.
Okay, so Mr. Roland Powell and I decided to do our set together. We're probably gonna truncate it because the DJ has to go to his next gig. So he has to
Get money, Nate. Get money, Nate.
I know, right? What happened?
Now, mind you, we got some singers in this room. Okay, so like me is singers, and then there's singers. So adjust your expectations. I like my voice. I like down your voice now. I'm holding my voice. But then there's dancing. So I'm just making signals. Should've walked away right from the very start. Why did I stay? 10,000 tiny soldiers marching right through my heart. Couldn't keep me at bay. Oh, how fast I fell, how I'm under your spell. So tell me, do you feel it too? There's magic in everything you do. It's natural. This is an original song. We're gonna try to make sure because the DJ has to. Feel like your mind's in a faraway, distant land. Feel like your mind's in a faraway, distant land. Feel like your mind's in a faraway, distant land. Feel like your mind's in a faraway, distant land. And just turn to feet, feet turn to meters to miles. Where have you gone all this while? I know you live here, but your mind's been nations away. And I know this world has a way of dimming the light that's usually in your eyes. But no need to be Superman this time. I wanna be here by your side, but I'm just making assumptions. I don't know what's really on your mind, and I'm not trying to pry. I just don't know what's happening. I feel like your mind's in a faraway, distant land. Feel like your mind's in a faraway, distant land. Feel like your mind's in a faraway, distant land. Feel like your mind's in a faraway, distant land. It just turned to feet, feet turned to meters, meters to miles. Where you gone all this while? I know you live here, but your heart's a century away. And I know we all feel like let's escape the heavy weight of how it hurts, living in a land where they can't always see your worth. I know it hurts, but is that what's happening? Let me know what's happening. 'Cause if the weight is pushing down, I'll stand on my shoulders, lift your head and help carry the load. And if I cause the icy chill, won't make it any colder, I need you to let me know. Feel like your mind's in a faraway, distant land.
Come on.
Like your mind's in a faraway, distant land. Feel like your mind's in a faraway, distant land. Like your mind's in a faraway, distant land. Feel like your mind's in a faraway, distant land. Feel like your mind's in a faraway, distant land. Feel like your mind's in a faraway, distant land. Feel like your mind's in a faraway, distant land. Oh, where did you go? And I don't know what's happening. Help me find you. You don't have to do this by yourself. Feel like your mind's in a faraway, distant land. Faraway, distant land. Faraway, distant land. Mind's in a faraway, distant land. I usually just go out to dinner, people, maybe watch a movie with my husband, which is great. But it's something to be said about people from from so many areas of my life and my past, like milestone moments for me. Not to mention my family that's been there throughout, you know, all of it. So I'm so grateful for all of you. Feel free to share pictures or video of what you've learned. Please tag me in it, tag the people that you see. Spectrum open mic for this so everybody can see it. I love you guys. Have a wonderful night. I'm gonna be selling some stuff. The Aikens will be selling some things. So the DJ's gonna leave and go to his gig, but we're gonna be around, okay? Oh, and there's cupcakes in the back, and they're amazing. So please feel free. I love you guys. Have a great